Welcome to the All About Pigeons podcast, brought to you by the All About Pigeons nonprofit organization, which is dedicated to promoting education and promotion of the pigeon hobby. Every week, a listener requests to drive our conversations about all things pigeons. Join me, Philip Fry, as we learn and share stories about these incredible birds and this ancient hobby. Today we're going to be talking about the operations of a pigeon race club with Joshua Hayes. Joshua got into pigeon racing from his grandfather around the age of 10 years old. He is the current president of the PRO, the Pigeon Racers of Oklahoma Club. So Joshua, thanks for coming on and talking pigeons with us today.
Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about the club that you're a part of, how many members you guys have, and how long it's been going for?
So we currently have approximately 30 members right now, and this club has been around probably since the 60s. From everything I've heard, it's been around for a while. They used to ship pigeons on the train, from what I understand, way back in the 60s or 70s. They used to give them to the conductor, and the conductor would take them, however far, and let them go. Back in the day when we didn't have live weather tracking, we got let go. But we've been around for quite a long time. I think we've changed names a couple times. We were the Sooner Club at one point in time. There was several clubs that combined together, and eventually we became the Pigeon Racers Oklahoma. I joined back in the very early 2000s with my grandfather. We got to see a bunch of cool stuff go on over the years, which led us to here.
Nice. So I'm guessing your grandfather was a member as well?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he used to race quarter horses, and my grandma made him quit. So we were looking in the newspaper one day, and he saw pigeon racing, and it struck him pretty hard, reminiscing back in the racing days of quarter horses. So we went to the seminar at the Oklahoma City Library. That's what got us started. I think the AU Dion was one of the people there, and there was another club member from our club that was hosting the seminar at the library. There was a bunch of people there. I think we were the only ones, maybe one other person that joined at the time. That's how we got started.
How does the membership work? Like, do people have to live with a certain knowledge of each other for you guys to be doing releases and keeping it somewhat fair and equal?
So at one point in time, when there was a lot more active members, we had a circumference around downtown Oklahoma City. You had to live within like 25 miles, give or take, something like that. And as time progressed and the sport shrank, we kind of been forced to accept members outside of that circumference just to, help cover cost of shipping dues and just keep people interested. I think currently at the moment we're spread roughly 75 miles apart from each other, from our furthest flyers east to west, I think is our furthest spread. But we try to accept as many people as we can, and we get a bunch of people who are far enough away we can help locate to, like the Tulsa Club, or I think Ardmore has a club that we, help them get in contact with them whenever they show up. We do a bunch of outreaches on Facebook. We've had a lot of success with that, getting new members to join, but they're from all over the place. They can be, I think we got contacted from people in Kansas, but we just try to take pretty close to Oklahoma City, within 75 miles. But we try to just to keep it fair, like you said, because if you get too far out, prevailing winds kind of make it difficult to keep it fair.
And so how do you guys go about coordinating and scheduling your races? Do you do it like for the year and you just kind of stick with the date based on weather? Is everybody kind of, because of where they're located at, get a say in where the releases and stuff are?
Yeah, so it's easier for us to go north and south, so we have I-35. So we swap back and forth north and south, and that seems to keep it pretty fair. And we determine our race schedules in the winter. We have a winter meeting and a summer meeting, and we schedule old birds and young birds in the winter meeting. And then we kind of follow up and make any kind of small, minute changes in the summer. Start date primarily, depending on how hot it is, because we try to start the first, second week of September. That can change depending on how long our 100-degree temperatures carry into September or in August. Kind of makes it hard to get them trained all the way when it's 105 degrees outside at 10 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right. Yeah.
So,
And so you guys are affiliated with the AU. Does the AU
oh
require
yeah.
you to have certain timing systems? Like, does everybody use benzing, or do you guys use something different?
So it is per club. You get to each club gets to choose what kind of timing system they use. There's not a lot of options out there, a handful. I think, we got Benzing, Unicon, Recon. Those are the three that I'm more what top Pigeon. We started getting top Pigeon clocking systems in. We have like five or six members in a club who have that particular one. The rest of everybody is Benzing. We have a couple others that use Brecon. We try to accept a plethora of clocking systems. It's hard on our race secretary because he has to, use all three of those to try to configure results. But I don't have a lot of experience with E wind speed, but from what I understand, it's not super difficult, just time consuming with all the other clocking systems. But Benzing's our primary one. Most of our members have. We really like the live results. You almost guarantee the winner from when the pigeon shows up. You know, all of us sit in our houses and watch the computer screen to see, who clocks birds first, and a lot of us are on the phone with each other, talking to each other as the races progress. It's pretty fun.
Nice. Do you guys have a central clubhouse?
No, we don't. I know other clubs in the country do. We're very fortunate to have one of our members let us use his property that we ship birds at, and the trailer's located there, and we all meet shipping night and set up our tables and our clocking systems and enter the birds in the race at his house. And then the hauler comes and gets the trailer and takes it on from there and then returns it after the race.
How large is the trailer that you guys use?
It is 15 feet long, if I remember right. It's a single axle trailer, it's all aluminum. We got it from a company in Monroe, Wisconsin. If I remember, Dave's Welding and Fabrication is the name of it. They built it years ago. I think back in 2010, 2013. I think is when this one was made, if I remember correctly. But it's pretty light. It holds, I haven't seen it maxed out. And I think we've had 560 birds in it at one point in time. That's the most I remember in a particular race. And we still had a little bit of room left over. We had several crates that didn't have any birds in them. So
Well, any idea on how many birds that thing can actually hold then?
700, give or take. If I were willing to bet, because I think we had 4 or 5 crates that were empty on that race. So, but other clubs have a lot bigger ones.
Oh,
I
there's
think.
always a bigger fish, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you guys have a member that kind of he takes care of keeping the trailer there, and I'm guessing he keeps a lot of the crates and everything there as well.
Yeah, all the crates remain in the trailer. We combine with another club in Enid, and they have their own crates that they've purchased, and we swap them out. They'll meet the hauler, or they'll come to the shipping location, shipping night, and will pull crates out of the trailer, and they will insert theirs. they'll take those other crates back home. That way, come next week, they can load their birds into those and bring them and swap them again. And we used to combine with two clubs a couple years ago, one in Elk City and one in Enid, and I think they were I think combined like 13 flyers is what it added. So we would have two separate, we would have our pro club race, and then we would have what we call the big red combine results.
So let's talk a little bit about the overall growth of your club. Has it been growing? Has it been declining? As the members that you have in the club, are they pretty active?
Yeah, we have a pretty good portion that's pretty highly active. We've been very fortunate to grow the past couple of years. I think we've added probably 19, 22 members, something like that, over the past couple of years. We've gotten very fortunate with one of our members being pretty active on Facebook, posting ads on Marketplace. He's had really good luck with that. We've added probably 6 members this year solely off of that.
So he's posting ads on Marketplace, like,
On Marketplace, yeah. Like where you would sell random stuff, there's all kinds of stuff on Facebook Marketplace. But he would post an ad like, are interested in racing pigeons, yada yada,
oh, okay.
and had pretty good luck getting people that way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was really surprised. I didn't think about that at all. I think he heard about another club somewhere in the country doing that on Facebook or something. YouTube, I think he saw a video where some other club was doing that. So we put a couple ads up and had pretty good luck with it. We suggest that to other clubs across the country. Post a ad on Facebook Marketplace. It helped us quite a bit.
That's pretty smart. Yeah, if it works too, keep doing it.
Yeah. There's also groups. We have a couple of groups here in Oklahoma, Facebook groups. Oklahoma Pigeon Breeders is one of them. We posted an ad or put a post on there on that group years ago and had 5 or 6 people join that way. Facebook has been a very good tool in adding members here recently.
Any good tips or advice for engaging the existing members that you have to keep them active in the club?
We try to do fraternity races. I think that keeps things interesting. We do a fraternity race and a band race that kind of inspires competition. We all try to we have an awards ceremony every year where we get together and we give out silver dollars to the winners of our races, and we all meet at Johnny's Charcoal Broiler. We all eat, bring our families. We try to go out after shipping night to go eat at Brahms or something like that. We try to, invite everybody to come and have a good time. I think that helps out quite a bit. Camaraderie helps keep everybody pretty interested, pretty active. That seemed to help out quite a bit. That's what I remember as a kid going going out after shipping night to have fun with all the guys. Or unfortunately, with these new clocking systems, now that it's all over the internet, you don't get to go to. We all called it, banging off our clocks, because the old clocking, the old ones where you had to wind up with a key, they would all bang those off at. We all met at a barber shop years ago when I was a kid, and that was fun because everybody would meet, Sunday evening, and we would all hang out and talk about pigeons and the race and everything. And but now that we got these new electronic clocks, they got that kind of antiquated that. So
That's a really interesting point right there, though. Yeah, because of the new clocks, that really kind of took away the social or the need for the social aspect of getting together, having the clubhouse, because
right,
or at least a gathering spot. For you're still doing it, I guess, to get everybody banded and set up. But the day of the
right.
race, that's when everyone's kind of rushing back, and yeah, that's really interesting.
It's a double-edged sword.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Because it is pretty cool to be able to, especially with watching them live, like you're saying. And you're still, you're still, like you said, you're still calling each other up and, you know,
yeah.
still like that, I guess.
Yeah, I think trying to, be pretty social is pretty important, So there's got
Right.
to be several people in the club that try to reach out to everybody to help, you know, make everybody feel wanted.
Do you or maybe the club as a whole, do you guys ever use any of the loft management apps or software like that, or just the clock systems?
I've tried to use the loft management on benzing. It's pretty not user friendly. Um, so, and I got a small loft, so I just mainly keep written records. But other people, I think, use it. I know other people use. Asked my mind, but there's a couple people in the club that use it.
I just saw one in the Racing Pigeon Digest, and I was looking that one up online. The loft
Right.
management software that they use there.
That's probably the one that they're using, if I were willing to bet. But I'm small. I only have, a handful of breeders, so I keep everything written in a notebook.
So let's talk a little bit about like one loft races. And do you or any other club members in your club do they enter in one loft races?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There quite a bit of them. I say the majority enter one loft races. Some a lot more than others. Some enter a lot of birds. Some only enter a handful. I know we have several local ones here. CBS Continental Breeding Station, they have one. I know a lot of people in our club, that might be the only race they enter to help support CBS, and there's a couple others around us that they enter in. I haven't entered any in a few years. One loft races are, I think, that side of the sport is growing, whereas club racing, I think, is shrinking. It seems to be more popular because of how spread out everybody is. It seems to be a lot more popular just to go with the one loft races than to race against people that you're 55 miles away from.
Interesting though that you say the majority of the members in the club are doing one loft races. So I mean, do you think that there's like a real competition? I mean, or in some ways, is one helping the other, or do you think that one is hurting the other?
I don't think that they're competing against each other. I don't think one's hurting. I would say they're helping each other because I know at the end, these one loft races, not everybody takes their bird. So there's a lot left over sometimes, and they're willing to a lot of times help new flyers with them. I think Paul Daniels was talking on when he was on your podcast, and he would use them in his old bird team.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I think it helps the sport. I don't think helps club racing. I don't think it's negative. I know a lot of the birds that do well in those one loft races tend to do pretty decent in club races.
Yeah, it's the same come back and do well in the other ones. Yeah.
Right. It's not always the other way around. A lot of birds that do well in club races don't always do great in one loft races from my point of view vicariously. So, because I haven't entered any really to speak of. So,
So, what do you think some of the biggest challenges are facing your club specifically, but even just pigeon racing clubs together here in the States?
membership. I think that's the biggest obstacle. Because when you have enough membership, you can pretty much do all kinds of stuff. We've had to shorten a lot of our races. We used to fly a 600-mile race. We no longer fly it because that's the most expensive race you fly, cost wise. And when you're short on membership, you're trying to cut your costs on stuff. So it inhibits how far distance you can go. Or I know we fly a lot of 200-mile races because cost wise, it's more effective for us than to fly multiple 300-mile races. So now that we have more membership, we can kind of adjust our schedule and lengthen races and move races around. But when we're, only having 10, 12 people flying, you kind of have to be cognizant of that. I know a lot of real small clubs fly mainly sprint races, from what I understand, just because they can't afford to go long distances. So membership is everything in a club. The more members you have, the healthier your club is, the more you can do.
Someone who's never even had pigeons before, if they come into your club, like how would you even, how do you guys have something set up for, because we had a guy on here before and he was kind of getting into racing and he was like, what kind of loft do I build? And they're like, man, whatever, turn that building into a loft, it doesn't matter. And he was kind of discouraged by that, like, do you guys have something set up for if somebody is totally new into pigeons, wanting to get into a race club and compete in that way? Like, how do you handle something like that with a new member?
So we suggest there's a bunch of people in the club that we suggest he go to get ideas for lofts. Um, we try to bring him around several members, look at their lofts. Several members in the club close to him will try to help him build or give as many suggestions as they can. That's been what we've done in the past is a bunch of people in the club try to help all they can, kind of mentor them. That's been what we've done.
Do you guys have any juniors in your club?
No, no, we haven't had any juniors in a long time. It seems like as more years progress, the least interested the youth is in these kind of things. Unfortunately, when I was a kid, when I first joined, I think I was the only junior member in the club at that time.
Where do you think the pigeon club racing? How do you see that going on in the future, the next 5, 10 years? What do you see that looking like?
Hopefully, it grows. I'm hoping a lot of these clubs adopt similar tactics, adding members on Facebook. But the zoning restrictions, there's a lot of neighborhoods that don't allow birds, pigeons and chickens and stuff like that. That hurts us quite a bit. I think all the clubs are going to have to be pretty spread out. I think that's what we're looking at. That's the direction I think it's going. I think one loft races is going to play a bigger part the longer this sport exists.
Does your guys' pigeon club have any big plans for the future?
We are going to host a Texas Center show in the second weekend of December at the Norman, I think it's Cleveland County Fairgrounds. We're going to have a show at that time, kind of like a fundraiser. I'll send you more information. That way you can, because I think you put that kind of stuff out on
Yeah,
your podcast.
that was at the Norman.
Norman,
Okay.
Oklahoma. I believe it's Cleveland County Fairgrounds.
Yeah, send me some info about that. So, are you going to be going to the Texas Center Summer Convention in Tulsa this year in July?
Yeah, yeah. Me and several other club members will be going to the convention since it's close. I think several of our club members go to it wherever it is, but since it's close, I'll be heading up there.
Okay. Have you been to one of their conventions before?
I have not. It's always been far enough away during summertime to prohibit me from going there.
Yeah, so that'll be the Texas Center of Pigeon Racing. They're going to be having a convention in Tulsa, Oklahoma, July 9th through the 13th. You can just look at their website, txcenter.org. They have a lot of information on there. So, and the one that you guys are going to be hosting, you're going to be hosting the Texas Center of Pigeon Racing's convention in December.
No, we're just hosting a preliminary show
Oh, okay. Well, this
um,
would be your own
in
show.
December. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It'll be it's a Texas Center sanctioned preliminary show. So we'll have Texas Center judges. Um, we'll have an auction as well. So we've gotten several donations from across the country that we're super grateful for. And we'll also be hosting this. Well, we won't be hosting it. Um, Best Pigeon auction will be hosting our auction online. So we'll have a live auction as well.
Oh, that'll be good. Yeah, doing it online really opens it up for everyone who can't travel. That's a real smart way of doing it.
Oh yeah.
Well, if anybody wants to learn more about this racing club, they are on Facebook, Pigeon Racers of Oklahoma Club. You can find them there. Check out some more information. But I want to thank you for coming on, Josh, and talking all about the ins and outs of your guys' pigeon club. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thanks for tuning in to another listener-requested episode of the All About Pigeons podcast. We truly appreciate your support. The soundtrack for the show comes from the pigeon musician Vitel Mizrahi. If you have a topic or a guest you'd like to hear more about in future episodes, or if you yourself would like to be a guest and just talk pigeons, please don't hesitate to reach out to us through email at allaboutpigeonspodcast@gmail.com or join our Facebook page, All About Pigeons Podcast, and connect with us there. Don't forget to leave a 5-star review wherever you listen. It supports the pigeon hobby and really helps the show. Remember, together the hobby thrives, support each other, and enjoy your pigeons.